Alright, it's on there, right? Before anything, I want to make sure if the Asian lag is here or not. Is Asian lag here or no? Like Asian lag as in like that one lag you experience at night, like in my time. No lag, so Asian lag is not there this time. Okay, but not yet. That's probably like the proper way to put it. Because as far as I know, stuff like this usually like starts lagging like after like 10 minutes and stuff too. But yeah, so in this stream, this is something like some people have been talking about, the Dogen stuff. Why teaching English in Japan can bankrupt you. That thing is like something I kind of wanted to talk about. And there's been like this trend where people are trying to move to Japan because like Japan's like that one anime country, right? And people just automatically move to Japan and they get poor. That formula has been everywhere, and a lot of you guys have been like asking me questions about this too. But either way, let's just watch it and see what it's all about. By the way, this stream is gonna be really short. I just wanted to stream for like probably less than 1 hour. But yeah,
サッカー日本代表のスタッフに聞いてみた。ユニフォームの洗濯はアタックゼロ？
あ、はい、汗の匂いが落ちるので。上がるー。匂うとプレーにも影響しちゃうんで。
よっ、洗濯の守護神ブラボー。
サッカー日本代表も。
Why is the YouTube ad freaking telling me to wash my clothes? What the fuck?
アタックゼロ。
Is your WordPress site painfully slow?
No.
A slow site means missed opportunities.
You don't really know someone until money is involved. The first time I heard this in high school, I laughed it off. I thought, no, I know my friends and I know my significant other. But once I moved out, I started to see truth in this statement. Once I and the people around me had to start paying for rent and utilities and food.
Actually, before talking about this, how much is the rent? Or like, how much is the rent for you guys right now? If you guys even like pay for it yourselves. Like a month. How much is it for you guys? If you guys live with your parents, that's whatever too. But I'm just kind of curious. Like actually. I bought my home. How much was it? Moscow, 300 to 400. Really? 25,000 including food. 25,000 a month? 440 NZD. Really? Huh. $1,600. $400. That actually sounds like a lot cheaper than I thought. Because, like, as far as I know, things are just freaking expensive right now everywhere. That's what I heard. Interesting. I actually didn't know about that.
Transportation, then we'd sometimes get into arguments that never happened when we were living with our parents. Didn't I pay for gas last time? No, I'm pretty sure I did. Really? You're gonna spend money on a PlayStation, but not us? I just can't afford it now, okay? I bring this up because financially induced stress is a very real thing. And there are a lot of people who love Japan that end up experiencing that stress for the first time.
Oh yeah, this formula where you watch anime 24/7 and you come to Japan and you face reality for the first time. By the way, I'm not really memeing. This thing is like so common that a lot of viewers even have to know like what it's all about. Like I'm not even memeing here. I know watching anime and like experiencing Japanese food and like all the whatever stuff is cool. But once you experience reality, like you'll see that reality and you'll eventually go back to your own country. I've seen that so many times. Minimum wage is like $270 a month. Oof. That's
in
tough.
Japan. Of the thousands of people who move to Japan each year, many come straight from university via programs like JET and Interac. They experience their first real job and oftentimes therefore their first real financial responsibility and all the difficulties that come with that in Japan. That can create a perfect storm. So in today's video, the next episode of the Japan Trap miniseries, I'd like to talk about that storm. How a bright-eyed, fresh out of university otaku can sabotage their future in Japan by ignoring or staying willfully ignorant of the current state of the Japanese economy and failing to create a financial roadmap.
By the way, I will just mention this here too, just in case, so you guys like know what's really happening in Japan right now too. You know how economy is like dying everywhere? It's like what you kind of hear everywhere. That's the same in Japan too. But the only exception when you can kind of be rich in Japan is like when you're American living in America, or like from America. That's the only exception. And then, like, actually, you know what? Like, if you are from a country where getting $4,000 a month is like normal, then you'll be rich as fork. Antarctica, yes.
Because one's decision to either stay
This is more finance problems than living cost in Japan. Yeah, so like, that's what you know when you were like older than like 19, right? So like when you're in university, you kind of think about, wow, I watched anime, I want to go to this country called Japan, right? You just kind of think about that, but you don't really think about like actual like core problems of like what it's like to live in Japan. There's like this problem, right? And then you come to Japan for the first time and you just go like, oh, I want to date Japanese girls. I want to see girls. And you know what happens to them. Now you guys know what happens to them too.
in Japan or go home will largely be determined by whether or not that person is satisfied with their life here. And one of the variables in that equation, certainly not the most important, but perhaps the easiest to quantify, is finances. You don't really know someone until
girls, yes, like that whole thing is actually one of the reasons actually why people come to Japan as well. This is something like I think that gets mentioned a lot too. Coming to Japan because they like Japanese girls is like really a thing, which I think is like really interesting. Because I wouldn't go to a country because I like the girls there or anything, but this thing is like actually really huge. Like this thing is like something a lot of people do. Like, oh my gosh, like I want to go to Japan because I like Japanese bitches. They're fine ass bitches. That's really a thing. Especially though, I've seen cases where American virgins that came to Japan just to have sex because they like Japanese girls and they legitimately think Japanese girls are fire. It's really a thing. Yes. Japanese men, that's the same too. But I'm not really saying like it's a bad thing or anything because you like Japanese girls. Like there's like nothing wrong with that, right? Do they succeed? Depending on what they do and like what their approach is, right? Breeding visas, isn't it? Yes.
money is involved. Well, that's true for Japan.
wait. Isn't that shallow though? I went to live in Japan because I want to fuck Japanese girls. But like, you know how it's like really common though, by the way? Passport bros is like the term for that. But that's like a lot more common than you guys think. Like that formula is freaking everywhere, which I think is like really interesting too, right?
As well. It's easy to love Japan when you're dining on Wagyu and soaking in hot springs in Hakone. It's not so easy when you're a broke English teacher struggling to pay for rice balls and trips to the local coin laundry.
Actually, I want you guys to guess. Do you know like how much money English teachers currently get in Japan now on average actually? Like as a foreigner. Like let's say you graduate from a university, you get the degree of like whatever, right? And then you come to Japan and you want to teach English. Do you know how much money you get a month? Low. I don't think it's like that expensive. 100,000 yen? I think they get more than that. I don't know how much they get now though. Can I Google it? Wait, let me Google it. Let me Google it and let me tell you. 英語教師外国人給料 so they apparently get that's wow, that's a lot of money. What the fork? Wait. Okay, so they get about 25万円 which is about $1,700. Yeah, which is like a lot more than I thought, because like you basically come to Japan and you sing like I love you, you love me, we are happy family, and you get like $1,700 automatically. That's low. It is yes, it is low. Yes, Being born in English-speaking countries is so, yeah, it's kind of OP. It's really overpowered. It has to be nerfed. 4 million yen pre-tax. Yeah, I think it depends. Still, like, depends on where you work out too. I still kind of think that's the formula too. I don't really know. That's not bad. That's not bad, but that's not good either. Depending on where you live and what you want to do in Japan. Like, that's like, you can watch anime for free, but if you want to pay for it, you have to whine about it level. Does that make any sense? Like, you cannot just like go to places and like watch anime for free. How do you become a member again? You gotta click on like that link in the description thing, but I don't think it's worth it if you want anything entertaining. I usually just like talk to my viewers there, so.
The first thing I want to talk about is how much you can expect to make and what exactly you can buy with the salary of an entry-level English teaching job in Japan in 2025. The JET program, the gold standard for this kind of work, pays the equivalent of approximately 27,000 US dollars.
Wait, what? That's a lot of money. What the fuck? Never mind. I'm like all wrong about what I just said. So like, you guys should actually start watching Dogen channel, because what he's saying is like actually, he actually makes a lot more sense. What the fuck?
Dollars a year. But after taxes and pension and health insurance are taken out, each month you'll be left with approximately $1,850.
Never mind. I was right. Yeah, never mind. I actually was right. I don't know what I was thinking about. I was actually right. So Dogen was right, but I was right.
On a program like Interac, this will be closer to $1,500.
Okay, so I was actually really, really right.
Needless to say, while you can live in Japan, especially rural Japan, on these salaries, you won't have a tremendous amount of wiggle room. One of the reasons for this is the exchange rate. As of right now, May 2025, the yen is hovering at around 145 yen to $1 US dollar, which is a 30-year low. Some people may hear this and say, right, but the cost of living in Japan is low. So even if I'm only making $1,800 a month, that amount of money...
That's why Filipinos teach English in other countries, convert it in our currencies a lot. It's not really about the conversion though. It's more about like how much money you usually make in Philippines versus like what that is. It's not really about a conversion here. But either way.
Goes a lot further in Japan than it would in a place like the United States. And while there is truth to this statement, it's not the full story, because you won't always be buying domestic products. When I moved to Japan on the JET program in 2009, the yen was actually a little bit stronger than the dollar. When I bought my first iPhone halfway through my 3-year contract, it was about 50,000 yen, which was about 25% of my monthly income.
By the way, can I actually talk about something? So this thing. Let me tell you something really, really interesting right now. So this thing keeps getting more expensive, like day by day actually. And this thing should be like around, what, 50 cents right now? Is it 50? I get like a lot of these at Costco and it's like, is it imported? I think so, yeah. Maybe, I don't really know. I mean, it has like some Japanese characters on it too, so maybe not. I don't really know. I don't even remember. But this thing is like really, really cheap, right? So it's like 50 cents, like 60 cents. It used to be like only like 30 cents. So it's been kind of getting more and more expensive. But that's just like one thing I kind of wanted to mention.
The cheapest new iPhone today, the iPhone 16e, is 100,000 yen, which is almost 40% of the current monthly JET salary and 45% of that of Interac. Furthermore, there are many Japanese companies that create and price products based on world demand rather than Japanese demand, which often makes these products relatively more expensive to buy in Japan. In Japan, a PlayStation 5 costs 80,000 yen, and the average monthly income for a new university graduate in Japan is 225,000.
Wait. Entry level salary. So that's about like what? $1,500? Can you guys actually tell me about this? How much money like do people make like right after graduating from like a university? How much do people make, by the way? I'm legit curious about this. How much like do people make though? Depends. I know it depends, but usually like how much do they make? 6,000? In Singapore? Yeah, 3 to 4,000 USD. That's like very common, yeah, in America if you're talking about Americans. But it kind of is different depending on where you are. True that. But in Japan, I guess it's like around like 220,000 yen, which is like what $1,500. So then, yeah, hearing like Americans making $3,000, like that's a lot of money, like actually. And thank you, Mo. Dr. Pepper is gold. They don't produce this in anywhere other than US. I love and hate that in the same time. It's almost about 400 JPY in China pre-can. Wait, are you saying Dr. Pepper is like not in any countries besides the US? Wait. They don't produce this anywhere other than the US. I'm a bit confused, but thank you so much for the donation. Yeah, I think it's everywhere, no? Made in label. Wait, what? Here is from the US. Distributed, produced. Is it really any different? It's not a thing in Europe, really? But 400 JPY in China pre-can, right? Even in the US, it's just like insanely expensive right now too, right? So it's just it's just insane, yeah. But it's inflation. They sell them overseas, but all of them are imported. Wait, they sell them overseas, but all of them are imported. I'm a bit confused, but thank you so much for the donation. Because my IQ is actually 69, and I cannot really comprehend what that is about. So I'm really confused. But can I talk about pee pee boo boo? Because I want to talk about my ass now. But thank you so much. I got really confused right now. But thank you so much. Either way.
1,000 yen. This means that a new hire in Japan would have to spend approximately 35% of their monthly income to buy a PlayStation 5. On the other hand, a PlayStation 5 costs approximately $500 in the United States, where...
Is it really that cheap in the US? I mean, that kind of makes sense, but wow, damn.
If you're lucky enough to get a job straight out of university, the average monthly income is approximately $5,500. So in the...
Are you serious? It's like what's happening to Americans right now? Really? Wait, is this what Americans are really, like, experiencing? Before tax or after tax, but still, it's insane. No, you say like, oh, pre-tax, but that's still insane in Japan. But pre-tax, after tax, it doesn't matter. Like, it's still insane. Pre-tax or like after tax. No. If you were saying like, no, that's not true. You're being American here. Even before tax, it's insane as fuck. No one right out of college has that much. That's what I thought too. Isn't it like, what, like 3,000? 2,000 after. Yeah, like, I don't really know. This is something I've never heard of. Like, this is kind of like talking about my mom's ass.
The United States...
Cost of living would eat a lot of that. Maybe? And thank you, Imo, saying that they don't do the producing in the destination market. Made them in the US. They ship the drink to overseas, so that's why they are expensive than other drinks. Oh, so what you are saying is... Okay, I finally get what you mean now. I got confused a little bit because I wasn't really sure what that was about. But you were saying is like, oh yeah, like if I wanted to get Dr. Pepper in China, it's expensive because it's like about 400 Japanese yen. Yeah, I get it now, yeah. Which is kind of interesting because like it actually says like made in Japan. This thing right here. It says Kokusan. Here, I can show it to you. I don't know if you guys can like read Japanese here or not, but... Can you see that thing right here? Kokusan. That thing? Kokusan. That means like made in Japan. So I guess like it's in Japan or something. You have Costco in Japan. Costco makes Dr. Pepper? Really? It's blurred. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, like everything's blurred in Japan, like my penis. Like Japan just pixelates everything. I honestly didn't know the Costco makes Dr. Pepper. What the fuck? Wait, are you serious about this? They ship the raw materials in Japan and it's canned in Japan? Is it like what the definition of like a kokusan, like a made in Japan means? It can be bottled. Then why did somebody just say like you have Costco? You truly believe like Costco makes Dr. Pepper? What the fuck? They send power to Japan, you fool. Now you think anime is real.
The same Japanese product is relatively cheaper. It's just under 10% of...
This is actually insane. Oh! Actually, no. I wanted to ask you guys something. So, I wanted to ask you guys something. I was like watching Takashi's short the other day, like by myself. Because I just kind of wanted to learn about something. So, apparently, Japanese people spend like 20% of their salary for their rent. Is it a lot, do you think? Like, to 20%. Is this number a lot? So, like, in Takashi's short, people, like, in Japan were saying, like, oh, yeah, I spend, like, about 20% of my salary. And then, in the comment section, people were saying, like, wow, that's insane. That's low. 65%? Decent. That's not much. That's a lot. I heard in some countries, average is like 50. Especially if you're American. Isn't it like 50 right now? Right? Yeah, it's like 50% in America right now. I mean, I guess it depends on where you're from. But in Japan, it's like 20. Yeah, I keep hearing this actually. 30 to 55. Yeah. Like 20% is like what people, like how much people spend in Japan. And in the comment section, like a lot of like the people were saying like, wow, that's like insane. And I wasn't sure like what they meant by insane. I actually kind of felt like they were even talking about my like ass or something. Because like I didn't know what was insane in that situation. I really thought my ass was insane or something. Japanese has rice crisis right now. Is it true? I guess yeah, maybe. We don't have rice and we are blaming foreigners because foreigners ate all the rice. And now there's gonna be this like a fight between foreigners and Japanese people. Like Japan's now really becoming like that anime country right now.
The monthly income. Now you could make the argument that the job market in the US is so bad right now, and it has been so bad for several years, that it's not a fair comparison. But on a minimum wage job in the United States, not a job aimed at...
Is this true? Is this like how much you get like for working at McDonald's and stuff too? Is this true, everybody? I want to know about this. Is it true? Per every 2 weeks? Or every 2 weeks? That is true. That kind of sounds insane because like in Japanese yen, it sounds decent. Wow, like yen really is dying.
New university graduates. A PlayStation 5 is about 40% of monthly income, real close to that 35% that we saw in Japan. This is what you need to be aware of. That
Thank you, Emo. In China, you could easily spend 30 to 50% of your income for rent. Tier 1 city. Tier 1 city, that's a concept. Interesting. Tier 1 city, Shanghai, Beijing, New York, San Francisco could be that much and more. New York, yeah. California, especially LA, I heard it's like freaking insane. Like if you wanted to get like a one room apartment, it's like what? $2,000 right now, isn't it? I don't know. That's like what I heard. What's butsukari? Butsukari? To collide into something?
buying some Japanese product.
In the US, you get paid every 2 weeks. Really? Isn't that like a thing in the Philippines?
It's like a PlayStation 5 on a Jet or Interac salary.
MUFG.
Is it another job that's telling me to get a job somehow?
More like buying them on a minimum wage salary as opposed to an entry-level new graduate salary in the United States. Now, it's true that other everyday expenses in Japan, such as eggs, are relatively cheaper, so it evens out a little bit. But once again, this isn't the full story. While Japanese wages largely haven't changed for the past 30 years, the price of Japanese rice, perhaps the single most...
Fuck. Because of Dogen, now everybody thinks we eat rice everywhere. We wake up to rice. We sleep to rice. We talk about rice everywhere. Like, rice is something we talk about. Now, Dogen just confirmed it. Fuck. Now, a lot of you guys were even talking about rice. Fuck. Now you guys, like, truly think Japan's, like, a rice-eating country. Fuck. And thank you. $2,000 you can only get a studio in NYC. That sounds insane to me, but... But I don't know. At the same time, like, that sounds a lot of money to me, too. Talk about JAV. I mean, if you say that, then, like, Dogen's gonna freaking start talking about, like, porn. Like, oh, yeah, I watched this porn and it was fire. Which I doubt he will do. But you guys are giving me hopes. If that ever happens, I'm gonna freaking, like, actually laugh out of my ass and I'm gonna just die.
Consumed product in all of Japan doubled over just the past year. There are many reasons for this, but one of the issues that's affecting
What you usually eat? Dumplings.
all aspects of the Japanese economy is the declining population. In Japan, there aren't enough people to fill the job vacancies.
Declining population. There's actually this professor, like, that's been kind of talking about why the population in Japan is declining. The professor is actually serious that the population in Japan is declining because there are versions. And I know it sounds like a meme, but, like, it's apparently, like, a real thing where Japanese people decided to watch VTubers and anime characters, and they actually are in love with, like, anime things more than, like, real life things. And they are basically saying, like, fuck girls. Like, not like, oh yeah, I fuck girls, but they're like, fuck girls. Which is, like, really, like, the most virginal thing I've ever freaking heard in my life. But that's a real thing. Isn't it kind of unfortunate? I don't know, man. Like, that's just something now. And before VTubers, they were in love with anime characters, and now they're going to be in love with, like, virtual reality characters, not VTubers. Yeah, why Japan not import rice? I mean, it's just because they like rice in Japan, right? Some people that really like rice from, like, let's say Indonesia or, like, even Thailand, they just eat those, but, like, some people just don't really like the rice that's from, you know, not from Japan, right? It's kind of like that situation where you are trying to eat a burger in America, but you don't want to eat burgers from, like, Japan. You don't really like burgers from Japan because Japanese burgers are fake. You know what I mean? And thank you. Eastern Asian are doomed. Seriously, looking at the birth rate in China, Korea, Japan. Yeah, I don't know how it is in China or Korea, but in Japan, like, they are now trying to have sex with, like, VTubers and, like, anime characters. By the way, I'm not like joking or memeing. I'm actually kind of serious about this. If you talk to any people in Japan, they just openly talk about wanting to have sex with VTubers, which I think is really interesting. They were just in love with VTubers before, but now they are trying to fuck VTubers. Like, this concept is freaking interesting. You know, like, a lot of people are now, like, trying to actually get laid with, like, VTubers. Do you want proof? Here, VTuber to tsukiau. See, like, some people, like, actually googled, like, this term, VTuber to tsukiau, like, how, like, basically how to date VTubers. Some people googled it, I mean, searched it. That's kind of why the predictions here. They are serious about actually fucking VTubers, but, like, VTubers are not in the real world, so they are just, like, touching themselves to VTubers. But that's the reality, and it sounds insane, but you know what I mean. I don't really do it. Why do you just assume I touch my dick to VTubers? Like, what?
There are less farmers to grow Japanese rice. It's more expensive to move in Japan than it used to be because there are less young, strong people that can carry beds and refrigerators. It's more expensive to build a house here than it used to be because there are fewer carpenters. These prices probably look like a steal in dollars, but that's irrelevant when you're getting paid in Japanese yen, which you will be on programs like Jet and Interac. And these costs are only being exacerbated by overseas tourism. 10, 15 years ago, when the yen was stronger, Japanese people used to regularly take trips to the United States, places like Hawaii and LA and New York. But the exchange rate and the runaway inflation in the United States has made this prohibitively expensive.
That is so true though, by the way, because like I did that too. You know, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, actually like that was like 13 years ago. I went to America, I ate all the burgers, and they all told me get the F out. That really happened. Not really get the F out. Like that part didn't really happen, but like I went to America and I ate all the burgers at McDonald's and Five Guys.
Moreover,
Sora was so young, yeah.
it's made it much more enticing
Wait, VTubers, are they secretly thick or something? Can I actually talk about something really, really interesting? So, VTubers that I know in real life, I'm not gonna really talk about who I know. I don't really think they're thick, but like I've been kind of thinking this myself. Like, VTubers usually are good looking in real life, but then they still decide to be VTubers and they want to just be cute in the 2D world, which I don't really think it makes, which I don't think makes any sense. But they just want to, I don't know, man, uwu as an anime character. Thick ones?
for foreigners to visit Japan, where a dollar or a euro now goes a long way. This has changed the landscape. Many of the medium to high-end restaurants in places like Tokyo, Osaka, etc. that used to be full of Japanese salarymen at noon are now filled with almost exclusively foreign tourists. There's enough demand from foreign tourists for restaurants to...
By the way, I wanted to ask you guys something about this too. There's like this one city that's like really, really problematic right now. It's called Kawaguchi. That city right now is like the most anti-foreigner city ever. Are you guys interested in that city now? We've been there before actually on stream at night. But that city is insane. Like that city is actually insane right now. It's being on freaking like TV and like on like news and like everything. A lot of people don't realize that rice and rice are different. Rice and rice are different. Rice and rice are different. I think rice and rice are the same. If you were talking jasmine rice, it's a rice that... That's why they don't buy foreign rice. Yeah, like, I know what you mean about that part, because, like, actually, yeah, Japanese people stick to the Japanese rice, because, like, they really like that Japanese rice. I don't really care, personally. I think foreign rice, especially Thai rice, is, like, freaking fire, too. But if I say I will get cancelled, because, like, saying, like, I don't like Japanese rice is, like, very cancelable. Now you guys are mad, because, like, I kind of said, like, I like foreign rice, too. I like Thai rice. Now you guys are freaking trying to just actually expose me on Twitter. If that ever happens, I'm gonna freaking just show my dick and delete my channel for lols. But it's illegal to show my dick on the internet or anything in Japan. I can actually get arrested, so like that's the option like I'll ultimately do if I ever feel like fuck my life. But I don't know. Not yet. Eventually.
raise their prices. But if they do this, it often means that the locals, Japanese people and foreigners living in Japan and getting paid in yen,
thank you so much for the donation, by the way.
can no longer afford to go. And this goes well beyond restaurants. If you want to take a trip to Tokyo during your first year here, be prepared to pay a lot for a hotel because more and more the hotels are orienting toward foreign tourists. Along those lines, don't expect to be able to take a trip back home during your time on Jet or Interac unless you can have everything except your plane ticket paid for. A simple 10-day trip back home for Christmas. That could easily, between the combination of the flight back home, food back home, tips on that food, gas to drive around town and see your friends, that could easily wipe out everything you've saved during your first 4 or 5 months in Japan. And none of this includes what I think is the most dangerous element of all, which is student debt. A lot of new graduates.
Actually, I don't know like if you guys ever went to university or not, but is it common? Like student debt thing? Because I don't hear this in Japan. Is it common like outside of Japan? Like I want to know if it's common for you guys, like for your country. Very common. I know it's a very common thing in the US, yeah. In Singapore too, really? If you're saying yes, I know what I want to know what country. In Japan, not really. I don't think it's not that common. In America, yes, it's very common. I know about that. But in Singapore too? What? Not common in Argentina. It's not a thing in Germany either, right? Netherlands. Okay. Everyone's rich, yeah. In Malaysia. Really? What the fuck? It's a thing everywhere? God damn. You guys should freaking just all go to like Germany and study like wackiness or something. Not a thing in Switzerland. 9,000 pounds a year. That sounds kind of cheap, actually, to me. Not worth it in Western country. Well, why not though? I think it's worth it in the West, cause like the degree means a lot there. It means a lot in Japan too, but like, it means a lot everywhere, right? In my country, government pay a salary for studying. I'm kind of curious about that too. You pay like $500 per 3 months in Germany. Yeah, I heard you can basically go to university for free, right? So not as much in the USA. Actually, yeah, so like this is something I heard. If you go to like a university in the US, like automatically you gotta pay like it depends on like what kind of university that is too, but automatically it's like a $20,000 to $40,000 a year, right? And if you go to like a prestigious ones, that's like 80, not even 80, like 60,000. That's like what I heard. And then you get that debt, and you gotta pay for it eventually. So you work and you just slowly pay them back too, right? It's not worth it in the US, really? Oh. Who get degrees can't even find jobs in the US. Is America that insane right now? What do people do though, like when they don't have like degrees or nothing in America? Like what do they do? Do they work at McDonald's? Or do they just smell my ass and like they actually get paid for smelling my ass? It's like that one thing where people freaking check like if people are doing fine, but you smell my ass to make sure like I'm doing fine and you get paid for it. Even McDonald's is what? They become streamers. Fuck, now I know why Johnny Somali decided to scream technique names in Japan. That actually makes sense now. We work trade jobs. Trade? So if you fail, then you basically become like a cashless person. As in like you just lose all the money. Wow, that's insane. Roofing handyman, plumber. Yeah, that actually makes sense as to why like a lot of people are moving to Japan from America too. Like now there's like another thing in my brain. I learned it here. Wow. I didn't know that actually. God damn. Some try to go to Japan. Yeah. That's really a thing, especially from America. A lot of people are like just automatically moving to Japan. They don't care what job that is now, like from America. And I was like, well, why is it? I kind of assumed they are all weebs that watch anime and they want to fuck VTubers or something. But there seems to be another reason. And somebody told me that actually, like, oh, I cannot go back to America right now. And I'm like, why? And they told me something like that. But yeah, that makes sense now, actually. Same in Australia, do a trade instead. Really?
Primarily those from the United
No sex? No, they come to Japan and they have sex, yes.
States end up
And
leaving
they brag about how many girls they get on the internet. Like, you can see a lot of like those people on Reddit.
university.
How does one fuck a VTuber? Well, I mean, they basically try to find out where a VTuber lives, but instead they just like touch themselves to VTubers like ASMR videos and they get satisfied with it. That's the formula.
With tens of thousands of dollars in student debt. To be clear, this isn't because they weren't being careful. The price of higher education in the United States has...
It has this? That's fire. I didn't know that. I didn't know, like, in the US, the education system has, like, this coffee thing. That is actually fire. That shocks me, too. And One Piece, yeah. Okay, so Americans are all weebs. That's basically what this is all about. Thank you, Emo. Japanese education is cheaper because of a lot of government subsidies. There are some crazy subjects that only make sense in Japan. Yeah, right. I exactly know what you're talking about. Dude, can I actually shock you guys with like some insane information? In Japan, you can major in space. Which makes no sense, right? You can... Dude, I know some like crazy universities in Japan that offer like real estate as a major, or like a what else? Astronomy? No, not astronomy or anything. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that, but no, I'm not talking about that. No, I'm not talking about that. No, I'm talking about the literal like. Well, let me actually put it this way. Let me actually talk. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. It's a lot easier to just actually talk about this. Real estate is a normal major. Okay, let me put it this way. Japan actually has insane like majors here. That's so common here too, but like let me talk about this. I know like a lot because like I actually talked about this. Okay, so in Japan, as far as I know, there's like a manga major. That's one thing. Manga major. And what else? Like I was like reading an article about this and I was like, what the fuck? Like they're actually trying to be weebs with their degree. Manga major, manga. You guys know what manga is, right? Like if you're on my channel, you have to know what manga is. Waifu diploma? No. But you guys know what manga is, right? That's not even like art major, like manga. Like Japan has like a lot of like those majors. Do you guys know why it's a thing? Like manga major is a thing? It's simply because like in Japan the major means nothing. It's just like what degree. Like if like it's they care whether you got the degree or not. VTuber diploma in Japan too. What? Are you serious? That's really a thing? If that's really a thing, that's just insane. That is actually insane. Curses are real. Liberal art. So like the point of like that thing in Japan is here. Like so let's say I can talk about only America because I know about America only a little bit. So like in America, what major that is kind of like what matters, right? But in Japan, that's not what it like that's not what matters. In Japan, whether you got the degree or not is the most important part. Like, oh, did you graduate from a university? That's what they care about. It's not like, oh, you majored this. Okay, so like this degree is going to be useful. There are some companies that actually care about that, but mostly though, like I'm going to say 80% of the companies out there, they don't even care. I mean, dude, like that's kind of why there are a lot of like, you know, companies out there that will hire you as a translator or like an English teacher when your major was like what? Like computer science. If it's still that, yeah, that's kind of why people care about what university. Like that's why they care about that. Like that's kind of why they say like, oh yeah, I want to go to like the University of Tokyo, but not like what major, right? They care about what university. Yeah, they care about the university. Yes, like they only care about what university it is, and what degree you got, like master's. But they don't really care about like what major. Some do. Like 20% of the people there do it. Like, oh, so you got this degree, so like, oh, it's gonna be useful for us. But it's not really like what they care about the most. It's more about what university. Yeah.
You can't come to Japan on Jet or Interac without a college degree. So it's not fair to blame the young people who are...
Yeah, college degree, right? Tokyo University, 100% win. Yes. It doesn't matter. Like you can go to dude. Like you know how there are so many people like that go to the University of Tokyo, like Todai, and then they major like in like what farming or something, and then they work at some like fire companies and they make electronics and stuff. That's just so common here, and I don't know why they still get hired for that, but the thinking process in Japan is more like, oh, this person went to the University of Tokyo, thus he's smart, so he can probably do this work. That's apparently how that works. Thank you, Emo. It's not even like learning philosophy or liberal art. It's really just learning things and major that. Consider religion. In other parts of worlds. It's really just learning things and major that constitute religion. Thank you so much for the donation. I got confused a little bit, but thank you so much.
Or just trying to follow the rules that the older generations created. That being said, if you are one of those young people, you need to be aware that trying to pay off US debt in Japanese yen will not be easy. The moment you step foot in Japan and start getting paid in Japanese yen, your debt essentially goes up by 50%. That's just the exchange rate. It doesn't take into account international transfer fees, which can also be substantial. Now, I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not saying any of this because
It's always funny when Dogen talks about manga and like freaking anime and stuff. プログラミングは発展ですかってどういうこと？発展途上ってこと？そうでもないんじゃないかな。
I don't want you to come to Japan. In fact, I want the opposite. Japan would benefit from more people that love the country, deeply respect the culture, and are happy to work here across professions. I'm saying
Yeah, but like I just kind of was talking about this. There's like this one district, like in there's like this one city right now that hates foreigners a lot right now. Kawaguchi. I might do a stream about it too, and I might name it like go into Japan's most anti-foreigner town to see people's reactions while speaking English or something. That place is insane right now. It's if you guys think I'm actually trolling, Google Kawaguchi foreigners. They literally are freaking fighting. Like actually. And Kyoto's more like oh yeah, like you know, we want peace. Oh, I wanna be a tourist here. Why? I don't wanna say much. But wait, dude, are you guys not? Wait, please promise me you guys are not gonna cancel me for saying this. Promise? If you say yes, sure, I will talk about it. Promise me? You guys are not gonna get mad on Twitter and like start exposing my ass pics and dick pics? Are you guys not gonna do that? Yes? Okay, so let me talk about it. So there's like this Kurdish people problems like happening in Kawaguchi. So Kurdish people, they are in this city called Kawaguchi in Saitama. And they are basically apparently causing like a lot of like problems. Not even problems, like actually doing some like insane things. I heard. And then so like Japanese people are basically saying like why is this place like now this dangerous? Oh, it's because of like Kurdish people, because Kurdish people are like doing this. That kind of thing. That's what is happening right now. What's Kurdish? If you don't know who they are, then yeah. You don't have to know. If you know who they are, then you might know what the problem is. But that's kind of like, yeah. What's happening? Yes. Kurds, yeah. But I'm not gonna say anything about it. I just kind of talked about what is like happening, but I'm not gonna mention it more. Google it, yeah, you can Google it, but I'm gonna just talk about my ass and my dick here, because I feel like that's better for me to do. Hi, weeb. I'm not.
it again because financially induced stress is a very real thing. And given the state of the Japanese economy, if you're not mindful of your finances from the moment you arrive, you could easily get blindsided by that stress. And that stress, it could come at the worst time when you're already dealing with an equally difficult situation caused by cultural misunderstandings or homesickness or something entirely out of your control.
Cultural misunderstandings. I'm actually working on a video here. What do you think Japanese people mean when they say your face is small? Can you guys guess what that means? Your face is small. Guess what that means? Cute. Pretty. PP small. 黒田人 JK 狙って怖っ。今度行こう川口配信で。Small face, you look young, kawaii baby face. Okay, so your face is small is a compliment, but like I feel like you guys know about this because you probably watch a lot of anime. Next one, your nose is huge. Well, what is this? What is this? Your nose is huge. What is this? Negative liar? You have a nice nose? Also a compliment. Okay. This one, your nose is huge. That's a compliment. That means like you are good looking. I get that too, by the way. I get that too. Like if you didn't know, Japanese people freaking talked about my nose like everywhere. Like, oh, they just told me like, oh, like your nose is kind of. They usually say like your nose is tall. And if I use like my Japanese mentality, I just go like, oh, thank you. But then, if they sometimes like they kind of try to speak English to me on stream, and then like it kind of sounds like they're trying to, I don't know, like joke about my pee size, and I just usually just say like, oh yeah, my ass smells, and they just go like, what the fuck? But I don't know what I just said. Another one. Your head is huge. What is this? Your head is huge. Now we talked about your face is small, right? Your head is huge. How about this one? 頭でかいね. That thing. Smart? No, that means you're ugly. 頭でか. That's a bad thing. Big brain smart, that's a Westerner thing, yo. Not a Westerner thing, but that's like a non-Japanese thing. Your head huge. That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing, okay? Like head huge, big, ugly. Big forehead, yeah. The thing is, like, people actually don't talk about forehead here. You know what though? Like, you know how talking about like a hairline or like a forehead is like really a thing outside of Japan in any countries, but people in Japan never do this somehow. I don't know why though. Yeah. Big forehead. Big forehead. Talking about like a forehead is like it's something I learned on the internet too, actually, because nobody talks about foreheads here in Japan. Nobody says like your forehead is huge, like it's small, or like hairline. That concept is like something I learned on the internet, because people in Japan never talk about it, including my foreign friends, because like my foreign friends in Japan know what it's like in Japan, right? But on the internet, I noticed people actually talk about it. Isn't it rude? It's not really like that. I mean, mentioning your face like this in Japan is not rude. It's just okay. So like in a lot of countries, talking about people's appearances is like a bad thing, because like why would you even talk about it in the first place, right? In Japan, people just randomly talk about your appearance, like, oh my gosh, like your hands are big, your arms are long. That's like really what Japanese people do. And that's kind of why some people just assume like Japanese people can be racist in some countries too, because like they like to talk about your appearance, right? Hairline isn't bad. Yeah, but that's this concept, hairline. I don't know how to say that in Japanese. Like this concept, hairline, actually shocked me recently, because I don't still know like if it's like that important in Japan or not. Asian people also do those stuff. Yeah, Asians usually do this. Yeah.
Control like a car.
Will they comment my dick size? They do, actually. They do talk about your dick size too. And dick size being, your dick being huge is like definitely a plus, but that's like a universal thing somehow. Like when it comes down to pee size, like people like it big. I still don't know why. Like that's how it works in Japan, because like your face being small is better. Okay, that makes sense. Your head being small, that's better. I get it too. Your nose being huge, that's better. That's kind of like just irregular here, but then your pee huge, oh yeah, that's fire. I don't know why that concept is like still a thing in Japan. Like that makes no sense to me, dude. Like Japan is a place where being small is like better, and then suddenly, oh yeah, your dick is huge, that's fire. What the fuck? Will you test different pee sizes to determine why big is considered good? Now you are telling me to flash my pee for science. What are you talking about?
Car accident. It could come at the end of your Japan honeymoon phase. You might wake up one day and realize that Japan does have problems. Moving here didn't get rid of yours, and despite the fact that you've been...
Dude, there are like so many people who like actually believe coming to Japan automatically makes them like superheroes. Do you know what though? Actually, if you want to witness those like, you know, insane comments, you can actually find them on my channel too. There are like so many people like that leave comments something like, I want to go to Japan because I know my life will be better in Japan, but they don't know like why. They legitimately think that coming to Japan will make them superheroes. Like they somehow get like huge dicks in Japan, and then like people will worship their big peepees and like, oh, thank you so much for having big peepees. It's really interesting, but that never really happens. Like, how they are in their countries will be how they will be in Japan as well, right? Their dick size wouldn't suddenly be huge here in Japan. But that's really a thing. Like, I don't know why. Maybe they legitimately think Japan's like that one anime country. Japan got comedy clubs. Cut. What's up, Cut?
Working diligently for a year and a half and not living extravagantly, you've got little to nothing to show for it. That is the perfect storm. That's the difference between I love it here, I can't wait to find more work after Jet, and I'm going home. So now I'd like to try and move on to some practical advice, because if you are mindful of your money,
Delusional weeps. Usual symptoms. Can somebody change your name to like a delusional weeb? So like definitely I will notice your comment. Like a lot more than other people. By the way, if you tend to show up on my streams a lot, change your name to like a delusional weeb. I will definitely notice you a lot more. I just told you here, okay? I'm serious. That name, you will get my attention. Like, I told you, okay? If you ever change your name to Delusional Weeb, you will definitely get my attention.
and take a little bit of time early on to draw up a simple plan, then you can have a wonderful, rewarding life in Japan that will springboard you into your next endeavor here. Disclaimer. Everything that I'm about to say is
None of the following is financial advice. Always consult a qualified professional.
not financial advice. All right? So points 1 and 2 are quite basic, but there are also things that I
can't. I talk to many Japanese people on YouTube who have that username. Now, Japanese people will love you for like having that name. Oh, by the way, fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? Humor. Fuck. I cannot speak English. What's that one? What's that one word I'm looking for? My brain. Self-deprecating humor. Yeah, that thing is so huge here, by the way. That thing is so huge here. It's actually so huge that people will instantly assume like you're hilarious and you're funny and you're likable. In Japan. More than any other countries. Like, I'm telling you. If you want to be loved in Japan, you know how Japan's like a country where politeness, Japan's a country where politeness is valued the most? It's not even humble brag or anything. Delusional weeb is not even a humble brag. You're basically saying like, oh, I'm a no-lifer. In Japan, yeah, we admire Bushido. I don't know if it's like a Bushido thing, but it's like is it Shintoism or something? Like, there's like some culture about that actually. There's like this culture that affected how Japanese people act, where you shouldn't go like, oh yeah, I'm like really great, I'm really confident. Like, doing that in Japan is like supposed to be cringe, right? But instead, is it Bushido? Is it really Bushido though? Is it really Bushido? I don't know. But either way, yeah, basically doing that automatically means like you know who you are and like you're not cocky, so you get liked a lot more in Japan. Like, there's like definitely that formula here in Japan. So if you ever want to be liked by Japanese people, just talk about how small your PP is. And people just automatically love you for some reason. Just say like, oh yeah, my ass smells like my ass. And I eat it every day. And that's fire. Then people will be like, that's funny. Yeah, I just have to say I'm ugly. It's a lot better in Japan to say I'm ugly than I'm good looking. It still like sometimes shocks me when I talk to some people like that's from outside of Japan, when they say like, oh, I'm really confident about myself. That's something you never hear in Japan. Because usually, like, you are supposed to kind of like look down on yourself here to, I don't know, respect other people. Like, it's just a really interesting culture actually, as a Japanese person myself. Delusional screaming weeb dick. Okay, so I did it now. What? So you fell for my obvious lie and you decided to name yourself Delusional Screaming Weeb #dick, and now you're a laughingstock on my channel. Congratulations, you got my attention, but you now admitted that you're a delusional weeb. Wait, how could moving to a country full of cute and kind of Japanese girls be a bad thing? Even if It's just tatemae. It still feels a lot better than being bullied by white women 24/7. I don't really think I ever said it's a bad thing or anything. But if you wanna move to Japan just because you like cute girls here, though, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, a lot of people do that too. But you cannot live in Japan with that mentality, because if you live in Japan, you are living a life here, right? So like you'll actually have to face other problems. That part is like what people talk about. You can come to Japan and you can fuck girls, like nobody cares, right? There's like a lot of people that come to Japan just to watch anime too, and nobody cares. You can touch asses, you can smell dicks, nobody cares. But once you come to Japan, you have to have a job. You have to like pay like your taxes. You have to live a life, right? That's what people talk about. And then you have to actually like realize like, fuck, I gotta live a life here. Like, there's like a lot to do. I cannot just fuck girls in Japan and I can live. That's what people are talking about. So like, seriously, if you want to just come to Japan and fuck girls, you can do it. Nobody cares. You can even brag about it and people will worship you for that. Like, people will be like, oh my gosh, like, how did you fuck girls? Can you teach me? I'm not memeing. There's actually a huge market for you to teach people how to fuck girls. Dude, like, watch any alpha male channels. They freaking get like 1 million views everywhere. And there are like a lot of comments saying like, oh my gosh, I want to learn how to fuck girls from you. And I'm not even like memeing. That's seriously like a huge thing. Is it illegal to fuck girls in Japan? Yes.
Was never explicitly taught, and probably the most important points on this list. So at the risk of alienating the financially literate, here we go. 1, the first thing you need to do when you start working, whether that's in Japan, the United States, wherever it might be, is save up a 3 to 6 month emergency expenses fund.
How much is it? Like $6,000?
This isn't you need to save up your monthly income 3 to 6 times over, but just 3 to 6 times what you spend each month on the essentials, the combination of rent, food, utilities, transportation, phone bill, etc. It's essential to do this so that if something unexpected happens, which it will, you won't have to go into debt. 2, you just got paid. What's the first thing that you do? Buy a Switch game, get some tonkotsu ramen. Unfortunately, no. The first thing that you do each month is transfer 15% of that money into a savings account that you never get to touch. You need to allocate some of the money that you make each month to savings, because if you don't, you'll never end up saving anything. You'll browse Amazon on your phone or walk through Uniqlo like I did and think to yourself, well, I can afford that, because you will be able to. But then you'll wake up 6 months or a year down the road and realize that you've never had more than $1,000 to your...
Well, thank you. If America had the same attitude as Japan when it comes to immigration, we wouldn't be having riots here in the States. Japan's so far ahead of us. Can I talk about something like what's happening in Japan? Wait. Thank you so much for the donation. So, I don't know. I kind of just decided to avoid talking about that, but like, I've been getting news about it in Japan too, and a lot of people are talking about it in Japan. Can I talk about what's happening in Japan? So, like, okay. Don't cancel me on Twitter. You can just post my ass pics and my dick pics and whatever. Can I... It's not drama. It's not a drama. It's not a drama. So, like, I have balls in my mouth. Nice name. I love balls in my mouth. Okay, so, you know the situation. Like, that's happening in America right now, right? That situation. I'm not gonna say much, because... Yeah, right. So, you know what is happening there? Protests in Japan are different. It's entirely different. So like, I've been actually trying to look for what Japanese people are saying about the whole thing, because the news is everywhere in Japan too. Yeah, it's everywhere. So I've been kind of trying to summarize the whole thing, and it's really, really interesting, because the whole thing is really different from like what I hear actually. So yeah, LA. I'm not gonna say much because I'm not American and I don't know what it's like. So I feel like I don't have any rights to talk about anything, because it's just a freaking whole, like a long story, right? I cannot say nothing. There's no protests in Japan. They're so rare, but they never, even if like it happens, it's never like that in America. But yeah, the current news is about race. Yeah. So let me talk about this. Keyboard warriors. So, okay. as far as I know, and this is like what I heard from the news and like online things, but as far as I know, what's happening there is basically here, right? They are. If I'm wrong, let me know, because I seriously don't know about this. I'm not American. I just like saw some news, like videos and stuff. What's happening in LA right now is here. I heard there are illegal immigrants in LA, and they are getting kicked out, and now people are raging about it, saying like, we want to be here, kind of thing, right? Is it what's happening? Did I get that right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So. Okay. That's basically Okay. That's basically what's happening. So then how Americans see it is basically this, like, oh yeah, like they're getting kidnapped and they're like being treated like kind of shit. And I've been kind of reading comments about like what Japanese people are thinking about the whole situation. So Japanese people are confused about the whole thing. Like I've been reading comments. So like. Japan is a country where everybody is like Japanese, right? Where everybody is Japanese, and we don't really have like that thing where there are like immigrants from like other countries. Everybody in Japan is like Japanese, basically. So I've been seeing like a lot of comments saying like, if they are illegal immigrants and if they are getting kicked out, what's wrong about it? Like, what's wrong with it? That's what a lot of like, that's like 90% of like Japanese people are saying on the internet. And they legitimately think that way too. So it's not really like, oh yeah, like, getting kicked out is weird. Like I don't think any of them say that actually. That's what I figured out, like reading comments, from like the Japanese side versus what's happening in LA. That thing, yes. And thank you. Usagi Akimbo, how many protests in Japan do you have where you see people waving foreign flags? There's like one in Ginza. How fast would those people be gone if you did? They don't really care in Japan. Near the embassies. Yeah, like Russian embassies and stuff too. There's like, not that Russian embassy. But as far as I know, there's like one in Ginza. Usually. Like Tokyo area, right? But they never really do anything. Foreign flags like legal in Japan? No. Basically, if protests like happen in America, this is like what I heard from the internet. And again, I'm not American. I'm not from there. I don't know anything about that. They do care. They don't say anything though. They just act like nothing is happening. In America, they do kind of just tackle the problem and stuff too. In Japan, they do act like you are not even existent. It's freaking hilarious. I actually recorded that whole thing on stream too. There was like a protest going on in Ginza, and I was streaming. Everybody ignored it. It was really interesting. Everybody just acted as if nothing was happening. And I actually saw like so many cases where Japanese people basically acted like nothing was really happening in the city too. And I mentioned this on like stream actually. I was like, wow, that's really something. But yeah, either way, thank you so much for the donation.
Her name.
Now, I've been streaming for 1 hour, and as I just kind of mentioned, I wanted to end the stream before the 1 hour mark because I wanted to do something, and I wanted to play table tennis later too, and I wanted to work on a video. And thank you. The fact that feds overstepped the state. That whole thing is really interesting. But again, I'm not American. I'm Japanese, so I cannot say anything. Cause like, I feel like a Japanese person mentioning anything about that whole thing when I don't know anything about America seems to be just a wild idea. So I'm not gonna say anything. So you can talk about my ass being smelly and stuff too. But I wanted to end the stream here either way because I just wanted to stream for 1 hour. I might just like do like another membership stream for a little bit too, and then I might just like play table tennis. But yeah, my next video is about like working in Japan as an English teacher and like all the weird rules and stuff too. But yeah, and then I might go to this like mountain I might go to a Hell Mountain, or I might go to Kawaguchi. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stream publicly on Friday. I'm gonna edit a video tomorrow, and I'm gonna upload it. No, actually, I gotta think about this. But either way, I will see you guys probably in 2 days or 3 days in a public stream. Before that, I might upload a video about working in Japan as an English teacher and like all the weird rules where you gotta make students pronounce presidential erection or you're weird. But anyways, bye bye everybody. I might just like do like a membership stream a little bit, like talking to you guys about some certain stuff, and then I'll just play table tennis. Bye bye everybody. And since this is like basically me reacting to Dogen stuff, I'm gonna make this stream unlisted as usual, because I don't want to keep like my reaction nothingness on my channel. Bye bye everybody. これからよな。